Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and today I'm going to take you on a motor scooter ride around the Bayfield Peninsula, Wisconsin. It's just a little ways east of Duluth, Minnesota and Superior, Wisconsin. It's a fairly small peninsula, but I think it's going to have a lot of very interesting views and other things that I can show you on video. So first, let me show you on the map just where it is and where I'm going. So there's Duluth and Superior, and it's this peninsula right here. Now let me show you what my route is going to be. So first, I'm going to go to these two views of Lake Superior there, and then go up here where the highway then follows along the coastline, be stopping at this town of Herbster and Cornucopia, and then drive across the peninsula over to Red Cliff, and then this highway I'm on follows along the coastline on the east side of the peninsula down to here where it joins with Highway 2, which goes east-west, and then keep following back towards where I started. And then my last stop will be this Amnicon Falls State Park, and then back to where I'm camped out right here. So I'm starting out not really knowing much about what I'm going to see. We'll just see what I see along the way, and I'll video anything that I think looks particularly interesting. So hop on the back of my motor scooter, my Yamaha X-Max 300cc motorbike, and we will take off together on this road trip. Well, I haven't driven very far, and I've now come to my first stopping point, my first sighting of Lake Superior. And off to the left here, you can see the land, and away off to the left is the town of Duluth, somewhere there, and then keep going to the right, and eventually the land ends, and then it's open seas where you cannot see anything across the lake. I'm fully zoomed in now, but I can't see anything off to the right there. But you know what? We actually have a pretty decent beach here. There's a man fishing, and this is at the point where the Amnicon River flows into Lake Superior, right over here. And both along the river and the lake, there actually is some pretty fine sand here. Just a bit of debris from trees that have blown over here or maybe floated in from the lake. You could actually just have a fun day lying out in the sun here on what I think is a really nice sandy beach. I like it. And here you've actually got a decent view of, looks like some kind of business operation going there, way across the lake towards Duluth. And here you can see the actual mouth of the river flowing into the lake right there. I see just a few small boats fishing out onto the lake. Well, folks, I think I'm going to take off now and see what my next stop will be. Now, I came to this next stopping point, another beach right at the shore of Lake Superior, because Google Maps says this is Bear Beach State Natural area, which looks like it's right in the middle of the river, and with a walk over to it, that blue spot is where I am right now. Here is the river that almost flows into the lake. It gets stopped up by the sand there. Actually, check this out. A little bit of the river makes its way into the lake right there. And I guess this is Bear Beach, but I haven't seen any signs at all about the Bear Beach natural area. I guess it's further over that way apparently. And again, we have some very fine sand here. Nice place to hang out for the day. Now here on the other side of the lake you can see land, and then it goes out and then starts up with another section of land that goes a long way over to the right before it gets out into the main part of the lake there where you can't see anything. And by the way, off of the main highway there was no sign showing which road went to the Bear Beach, but if you look it up on Google Maps you will be able to find it. By the way, this highway I'm driving is Highway 13, and I have come upon the Brule River State Forest parking area. No camping or overnight parking. I'm kind of surprised they're making a distinction between the two. In case you want to argue that I'm not camping, I'm just parking. There's a restroom building. You can walk down to the river here, but I'm going to show you the river from the bridge. There's the motor scooter I'm driving. This is Highway 13. And here is upstream the river. Not too exciting, but it's a nice river. And this is looking upstream on the other side of the bridge. Got some nice water flow there. Bit of rapids. Must be pretty shallow to have those rapids like that. It's a nice river. Well, I've driven quite a ways north on this Highway 13, and there is a scenic viewpoint here. And from here on, the highway follows right along the coastline for quite a few miles. And there's a map here that shows it. Well, there's a big glare on this map, but I'm right about here where the highway runs along the shore for, as you can see, quite a ways. And here it goes off of the shore. And then here it starts coming down the other side of the peninsula. It's called the Wisconsin Lake Superior Scenic Byway. And here are various small towns and features along the way. So at some point I may take some video while I'm driving to show you what it looks like taking this route. Here I'm coming upon the Iron River. There's a bridge going over the river here. I thought this was kind of funny. Have you ever seen an even shoreline? I think they're all uneven. Got a nice beach down here. And the birds just really like that rock out there. So this is a nice view of Lake Superior. Here's another little wayside park. But no overnight camping. I guess you can camp during the day. Restroom building back there. Picnic table is here in the open sun. They put the shade over there. Why wouldn't they put the picnic table in the shade? Honestly, I don't think anybody would be expecting an even surface around here. Just seems kind of silly to me. Here is the Cranberry River that flows out to the lake. I wonder if cranberries grow around here. I don't know. The water seems to be flowing towards me rather than out to the lake. I assume it makes its way somewhere around there. Here's a campground and RV park right across the street from the lake. And here is a boardwalk going to it. Caution, no lifeguard on duty. Swim at your own risk, it says. Well, it is a pretty nice beach. And there's a bunch of picnic tables over here. Well, here's the info on the campground. And they got their rates there. So it's pretty much vacant now. But this will be a nice place to camp in the summer when it's warm. You can go into the lake there swimming. And just for day use, here is their community park right across from the lake. This is the Scenic River at an area known as Cornucopia, where they have a boat repair place here. They have a harbor, a marina, some antique buildings there that are pottery and art, and here is a big store known as the Fish Shed, Tap Shack and Kitchen. So this is the next place I'm going to show you, just a short ways off of the main highway. You've got these wooden stairs going down to the beach. Then they've got open sun picnic tables, restroom building, and parking, and that's about it. So now I have driven directly across the peninsula to the community of Red Cliff, and at this casino that's on an Indian reservation. So I'm going to go in here and see if I can get me some lunch. Well, this is unusual. They have a really good salad bar, peaches and cottage cheese. It includes sandwiches and also a bowl of soup. That's what I had, and that made for a really good lunch. Here's the marina behind the casino. So you could pull up in your boat there to go into the casino. Just 3 miles south of the casino is the town of Bayfield, and they have their own city-owned and operated campground here, but it's not really on the lake. You camp on the land right beside the lake. Registration is all self-service, and it's $30 a night. You get a picnic table, a fire pit, and electric hookup at the box here, so that's good. They do have water faucets, but you have to drive up to it. They don't have water at each campsite. Here's another really big marina, just a little ways south of the town of Bayfield. They've got their own breakwater here, and then you can see further out the rest of the lake. So many nice shots of the lake all the way around this peninsula. And there are some islands out a ways on this side. There's a ferry here that goes out to one of the islands. Here's a nice place for a good panorama shot of the lake. Very clear skies today, fortunately. And on the beach here, we have some really fine looking sand mixed in with a bit of debris of tree limbs that can be cleaned off, but other than that, this is a really nice looking beach. I zoomed in here on the other side of the lake. You can see there are several islands. You can see some things over there. I can't tell just what it is. But if you look the whole distance, right and left, you see actually several islands out there. There's another one starting right there. Off in the distance you can see more islands. And again, I'm zoomed in to show you the end of the beach. It is a really long beach here. Got waves coming in, really nice sand. Well folks, just after turning off of Highway 13 onto Highway 2 is the Great Lakes Visitor Center. In this gigantic building. Well, here's a view almost from the top. This is the observation deck. But I suspect to really get to the top, you have to go up one more floor up here. It seems to be the only access. They do have an outside deck that you can go onto here, but still you cannot see the lake, Lake Superior. Boy, there are a lot of people here. Now if you're feeling really energetic, you can take this hiking that goes along this path to who knows where. I think this is the return path right here. And I think this building is used for a lot more than a visitor center. So the last thing I'm going to show you on this video is Amnicon Falls State Park, which has very easy access off of Highway 2. Here's some information on what created the waterfalls here. And they've got this wooden footbridge you go over. And this is the lower falls. Very nice looking waterfall. And this is downstream on the other side of the bridge. So that's a fairly good sized fall right there. And going upstream, there's other various smaller waterfalls you'll see. Here's another one a little further upstream. And there's numerous sections, really the whole distance of the river, with small falls like this. Many scenes like this all along the river. A lot of beautiful scenes along here. How you like this, folks? The river's going under that bridge there that the cars go across. Very nice. By the way, they do have a campground here. So if you come in your RV or come for tent camping, you can stay a while and then just walk along the whole river and just see everything yourself. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this trip with me today. I certainly did. It's been a lovely day. So I'm going to sign off saying good day, folks.